Respectfully?
Yo, how do I even start this? What's going on, everybody? This is Aurie Styla on the Respectfully podcast. It has been a minute, a good while. That's all I can really say. All right, let's get into it. First things first, I just want to say big up to anyone who has asked me for the longest time what's going on with the pod. For those who are not aware, I've been on tour. I've been on a world tour, and it has been difficult to try and get this podcast recorded whilst being on tour. You imagine you're not in the same place to record. It kind of gets hard to manage not only the logistics, but also your time, because you're out of different time zones. You're also up and down the country. So it's not been the easiest to kind of get going, but Sarah is what it is. Took a bit of a breather, had to come back, try and figure out how to do the podcast with so many different changes and advancements. Another big change. This is the second time it's happened. But this time has been definitely, I wouldn't say the last time was bad. I would say the last time was a little bit more disruptive, but this time has definitely been a positive thing on a bonus side in terms of supporting this move. But shout out to my guy Trudge, who is like officially, unofficially still on hand if I call him to say we need to do some bits. But Trudge got a huge job on another podcast for Global Radio. So well done to him. I can't tell him to stick around and stay put if another pod wants him exclusively there. That was a lot bigger than this one. So big up to Trudge on that. It's back to me again. It's just me here. Anyone who's watching this live can see around me, I'm in a studio that is nice. A little mise-en-scène in the background and so on. I'm looking at the camera feed now and it looks good. The studio has been upgraded and updated. It's been a project of mine that I keep going back to keep trying to perfect. And there's never a perfect way to lay out a studio, but I'm not going to lie, I do like the way it looks. And the little lightings in the background, it does look pretty decent. So wicked and bad. But yeah, it's been a minute, man. It has been a while. I don't know what to say other than that. For anyone who's been on tour with me, understands how tiring touring is. You don't get to be in your own house. I see my house maybe 2-3 times a week maximum. So imagine how much of that time I need to just rest and sleep. So, boy, I've missed this though. I miss being in front of a microphone in my own environment and just being able to just talk. So it's a real skill to just talk and there's not anyone that's responding, but I do miss it. You get to practice some of your abilities to just ad-lib, to monologue, to explain yourself. See, I'm breaking down now, but this is how you know I've done it for a while. You have to learn how to practice not umming and ahhing and, you know, like, and it's not an easy thing to do, but this is the tool that helps you practice that. So I will definitely be able to keep on doing this wherever I go. And I've got a whole portable rig as well that I can take with me to do this on the go. So Respectfully podcast, welcome back. You know, it's weird. I say that with like confidence, but inside, I'll be honest, internally, it does feel a bit shaky. Like, how do I guarantee that something else doesn't come up that makes me stop? I can't. And I have to learn to accept that. There's been parts of me that I don't like to start things and then stop. But if I know that I have to, and I think this is a life lesson, you kind of have to do it if it's that important that you need to stop. Sometimes we really, really play on our own, like, our own inhibitions. No, that's not right. Let me say this again. Sometimes we really play on our own self-esteem issues, I would say, by telling ourselves we're not good enough to do something, we're not focused enough, we're not consistent enough. 9 times out of 10, I am as consistent as I can be, but I also realize there's 24 hours in the day, so I have to really give myself the freedom of space to accept that, and I haven't always been able to do that as easy. So I'm not feeling guilty anymore about having to start and stop. I would try my best to be as consistent as I can, but it is not easy when you got a tour going on. Shout out to my tour team as well. My tour's been amazing. We started the tour in February 2024, that's this year, and we were supposed to finish it when it first announced, May the 5th or the 4th. The London show was on I believe it was May the 5th, 2024. That would have been 29 dates. Because of everybody who's been buying tickets, we sold out so many dates time after time. And we have now gone on from it being a UK tour of 29 dates to a world tour of 83 days. So I'm blessed. I'm thankful for it to get to that point where it's extended so much. But then it means that some things have to give and take, and the podcast is one of them. And I hate the fact that I have had to do that. But you know what? God says there's a time and a place for things. And also it's in his timing and not mine. So I just got to hold on to that and believe that it's right. Plus, it's giving me time to come back and rejig. This looks like a proper studio. Like, this setup is so dope. The lights behind me are cold. And the room is messy right now. I'm sitting in front of... I'll move out the way. I don't even care. You lot can see. There's cameras that are there. There's little board games. There's like cardboard boxes from like Amazon and other orders. It's not tidy. It needs to get tidied up a bit more and straightened out, but I'm still waiting for some deliveries to do so. But rather than waiting and going, all right, when it's all here, I'll start and it's perfect, I'd rather just start now and just go. And then you have to kind of ride with me on building it. I said this before and I stick to that. You can try and perfect things for so long. And if you do it, you end up spending so much time perfecting stuff, you don't get anything done. So, yeah, man, I'm happy about where this is at. Let me turn this mic a bit more towards me. But yeah, is this mic even turning? Hey, Mike, what's wrong with you? Turn. Oh, it's not, because I haven't done this. There we go. There we go. That's better. Lovely jubbly. Whew. All right, so what's been going on? Let me do a quick week recap. Today is week of the 29th of July. This will drop probably on the Wednesday. So if that's the case, last week. All right, so I'll tell you what, I'm gonna group the last 2 weeks into just a nice little 2-week bundle rather than 1 week. The last 2 weeks have been difficult, a nightmare. It's not easy. Basically, I'm in between the tour dates. Summer's off for me, and I'm a workaholic. I like to get up on the road and tour and go where I'm going and do what I'm doing. The problem is I don't get the chance to sit down and relax. So when it comes, I'm like, I should enjoy this. I don't enjoy long periods of time of sitting down and relaxing. I like it if I can do other things. Like if I can get up and relax in another country, if I can get up and relax in between working. But when you've got a large chunk of time, relaxing is not my thing. It is too difficult to achieve. I can't do it. And I've been struggling with that for a minute. So the past couple of weeks, I've been basically in my home, tidying, decorating, moving stuff around, which sounds good in theory when you are looking forward to clearing stuff. But I kind of want to get back to work again because it's been 2 weeks of this. And in fact, it's not even been 2 weeks. It's been longer than that. We came back from doing New Zealand in May for the Aurator tour. Then we came back to the UK, did some of the UK dates in June. So it's been the whole of July I've been home. I've been wanting to go away, but full transparency, I have not had the finances to get up and get out the house and move because people see that when you're on tour, they think money's up. Nah. You got to wait till the money drops. And often you got to wait until the end of series of points in your tour before that can happen. So you got to sit there humble. Remember when you're on tour, you're not doing other gigs 9 times out of 10. So everything's been tied up into tour money. So I have to be careful about what I spend before I get paid. In that time, I weren't paid. So I'm sitting there going, all right, I just got to cover bills and stuff. That's easy. But the problem is I can't do anything that is like wildly outside of my own zone of just home buddy stuff. It's been a nightmare, man. I'm ready. I'm itching to get up and go. Luckily, I don't want to say luck. Blessedly, let's say that I have opportunities to get up and go in August. I'll be away for 2 weeks and I'll be podding while I'm away for 2 weeks as well. I will get up and go and make moves and get out where I need to go to get out to, but I have to wait for another week and a bit, 2 weeks to get to that point. And then September we go on the road again, but it's like all through Europe. You know, I'm complaining about the time I got at home. I'll get to those points and I want to go back to chilling in my house for a little bit. So I'm never content. But right now, yeah, I need to get out of my house. I'm really getting a bit itchy with this, but that's the recap so far. It's just been me being in my house, sorting stuff out. Hopefully this room will be finished over the next couple of weeks before I do go away. I'm really proud of this room, but yeah, that's all it's been. It's a boring couple of days. It really is. Boring couple of weeks, rather, I should say. So, yeah. Anyway, what am I having to explain right now? What's been going on? I'm trying to avoid all the heavy news. Like right now, all the news that I keep seeing on my notifications is just Trump and Kamala Harris and after a while, you just get bored of talking about that stuff. Also, plus, I've noticed, have you guys realized that any time that you as a Brit talk about anything politics outside of another country, a lot of people like to jump on and say, mind your business, it's not your country. But if you're silent on things, people like to jump up and say, oh, you're not speaking up on things. We are in a society where everybody is so emotionally reactive that no one's considering how they might sound when they're telling people to or not to speak. Oh, it's a nightmare. So I'm not even going to delve into that. I'm going to talk quickly about the Olympics. Let me get the stats up that I had of the Olympics right in front of me. The Olympics right now started in Paris. There's been some controversies, but also, as well as there being controversies, which, I mean, let's be honest, no event has no controversies nowadays. Whilst there's been some controversies, also, there's been some realizations as well in regards to people's reaction to what's it called? The not hierarchy of medals. I don't want to say the listings or basically how much medals people have won. I don't know what to call it. They have an official word for it, but I'll find it for you now. Medals list. Let me type this in. Medals won Olympics 2024. There we go. 2024. Got them up right here. So I looked at this yesterday and I remember as a British person, we were in 13th place because we had no gold medals. Today we've got 2. So we're in 7th place when it comes to the Olympics. In first place is China. Second place is Australia. In third place is Japan. South Korea, then United States, then France, and then us. But it's still early days. We got 8 medals in total. 2 of them are golds. Everyone above us has 3 or 4 gold medals, apart from China that have 5 medals. The usual kind of like lineup of winners, to be fair. Some big highlights of the Olympics that I saw recently. Daly for Britain got what did he get? He got silver for diving, so well done to him. There was one great thing that I saw in the Olympics that wasn't even to do with us. It was I think it was Simone Biles. When I was watching, do you know what's really like interesting? Even though I'm British and I'm watching the Olympics, there's a big part of me rooting for a lot of the Americans, just based on like some of the ones that I've seen and how great they are. Simone Biles is one of them. Sha'Carri as well. Richardson when it comes to the 100 meters and seeing how well they do. And obviously I'm supporting Jamaica as well. I have a bit of a bias there, being my family is from Jamaica, but nonetheless, it's great to see some of these beautiful women just shine, and they are doing it with grace. Simone Biles dazzled on her Olympics return as the world's most decorated gymnast. I have to put this down for a second. Being the world's most decorated gymnast and still coming under fire with some of the things that you do because other people cannot do what it is that you can do is crazy. But that's what tends to happen. Being the world's most decorated gymnast showed she was back to her best 3 years after suffering the twisties. What is a twisties? That must be another, like a twisted ankle or something. The twisties is a weird way of an injury, but maybe I'll look into that and see what that is. Well done to her. She's done really well. I think she's won more medals than anybody else. And I think she won more world medals since like Tokyo, I think it was. Anyway, but she introduced a new skill and looked sharp in training, but no one knew what to expect when she entered the Bercy Arena to an eruption of cheers with A-list celebrities in the stands and a global television audience of millions. Big shout out to her. Do you know, I'm going to look at this as well. I saw LeBron James going over to the Olympics as well. I'm all over the place right now. This is me getting back into the rhythm of like podding again. This one has been literally me going, I have to go to a gig soon, but you know what? I'm going to squeeze this in and get something out because I'm not leaving it for another week. So bear with me, guys. LeBron James, who's on Team USA for the Olympics, as well as other players, obviously. They beat Serbia. The group results ahead of 2024 Olympic basketball KO bracket. It seems like in their group is Puerto Rico, Serbia, South Sudan, and United States. And I mean, expectedly, United States is leading in that group. You have to, I mean, we're talking about basketball. It'd be really weird if they were not to win at basketball, and basketball is a very American sport. So it'd be like the UK or England losing at football, like the Euros or the World Cup, which never happens. Anyway, moving on swiftly. It looks like they're going to be doing really well for that. The sprint team, Sha'Carri. I love Sha'Carri, man. I'll be honest with, like, when she first raced and then she got pulled out of the race back in the day, one thing I did look at is kind of the attitude that she had towards racing, thinking I can get why people don't like her. But I also like the fact that she stands there and goes, you know what, I know I'm great. I think it's amazing that there are people out there that can stand on that. And then she comes back and she proves it time and time again. One thing I'm not supporting is it seems like she might outdo the Jamaican women's sprint team this year, and obviously I'm a bit biased towards them, especially knowing it's going to be the final year of the one, the only Shelly Ann, who'll be running for Jamaica as well. Shelly Ann Fraser Price, I should say. It's a double barrel, I think, because she got married to Jason Price. That was it, yeah. Oh my goodness me, let's see how this is going to happen. Because right now, Shelly Ann Fraser is also dominating in the trials when it comes to, not the trials, sorry, dominating in the heats when it comes to the racing too. She's a killer when it comes to the track. But the problem is that so is Sha'Carri. It's definitely going to be a head-on-head with the two of them. And I'm biased towards Shelly Ann, so we'll see what happens there. Anyway, it's early days of the Olympics. That's my recap. It's only been the weekend that's gone. I will talk more about it later on if that's something that you guys want to discuss. Other than that, I'm not really going to touch base on anything else too heavy because, like I said, this is just me getting back into the swing and the groove. I apologize for anyone that wants more, but you're going to have to wait till next week for that. I will say this. Next thing that I'm going to talk about is something that's been annoying me all week. Basically, Deadpool and Wolverine came out. I've not seen it, and I really want to. I haven't had time. I'm going to try and get to see it hopefully by the end of this weekend. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I've heard it's great for nostalgia. I've heard it's great for people that want to watch it and get their cameo fill. But here's the problem I'm having is spoiler alerts. Let me tell you something right now. Anybody that aims to go and spoil a movie in, like, they go online and go, I want to ruin it for other people, you lot need a slap in your face. You know, the ones that sit there and they want to be the first to say I saw it, which is fine. You could say that, but then don't spoil stuff. Go and say you saw something. We don't mind that at all. But when you want to go and say, I saw this, and guess what? This person dies at the beginning of the film. I can't. Why would you do that? People like that annoy me so much. And there's so many of them. Do you know what it is? It's the same people that like to go onto their social media when somebody passes away that they don't even necessarily know or they've never really heard of. And they want to just say, oh, this person passed away, and want to be the first to announce it. I have a person that I know that's done this a few times, and I had to unfollow him. He normally works a lot on some of these film sets, in like hair and makeup departments. He loves to go on and say, hey, thank you guys for letting me have the opportunity to do A, B, and C on these film sets, and then put up a picture of him on the film set, which I think is cool. But when you do it and you know the thing that you're putting up is going to ruin an element of the film, or you're in the cinema filming elements of it, and then you then go, hey, I want to put this up and ruin chunks. And there's so many people in the industry that do that. You're awful, man. You know what you're doing as well. I had to unfollow. I've unfollowed enough people that do that. But yeah, Deadpool versus Wolverine, that's come out, and I've heard nothing but good things, but I want to go and see it. But I already know so many of the spoilers. Don't you just hate that? Don't you just hate when people do that? Oh, well. Hopefully I don't see anything else. I will actively unfollow people that want to spoil films that you know that everybody wants to do. What is the time frame with spoilers? I think for movies, it should be you have a week that until, like, you can start talking about stuff publicly. It should be a week. When it comes to TV shows that come out weekly, it should be 3 days. Because I'll be honest, you can't tell people not to talk about something or to make jokes about something or to repost something, etc. You can't tell people to do that. What you can do is go, everybody who follows me, I'm about to spoil something. You got 3 days to go and watch it. After that, you're in your own zone. At least then you've given them the opportunity to go, you know what? Let me mute this person, let me block this person, or let me go and see it in time. TV shows, 3 days because it comes out every week. But when it comes to movies, give it a week. Anything beyond that, I think, is down to you as an individual, because you should have wanted to get up and go and see what it is that was out there if you were so desperate to see it. A week, I think that's fair. Because if something comes out on a Thursday, you might already have plans on that weekend, family commitments, birthdays, weddings, whatever, and then you got until the middle of next week, and then by next weekend, so many people have seen it, you can't say anything. A week for movies, 3 days for TV show stuff before you can discuss it openly and publicly. I think that's a good rule. You lot tell me if I'm right or wrong for saying that. Anyway, I'm going to see if I can catch that as soon as I possibly can. I've finished The Boys. I don't want to talk too much about The Boys right now, apart from saying this. If you've seen it, how many of you are itching, absolutely itching to go and see the next season? Because right now it's looking so juicy to see they've like kind of the way that we knew the show was going to go into a certain zone where the psychos are starting to be in certain positions of power. That's what we've been waiting for. Anyone who's read the graphic novel understands that it goes down this line, and you can see how reserved they've been in letting it get to this point. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to see where this goes. And I have to say this, Anthony Starr, who plays Homelander, best actor in that show. Everyone's great, but he makes you look at him and genuinely fear how psychotic he actually is. And you look at him in real life when he's in interviews, when he's talking to people, and there's a part of you that forgets this guy is a guy and not Homelander. Really, really good. Another show that I got to watch this week, I caught up with the most recent season of Cobra Kai. The day it came out, I watched it all at once. Cobra Kai is, for those who don't know, Cobra Kai is the show that's like 30 years later of the people in the lives of the Karate Kid. Okay, so you've got Daniel-san, as everyone calls him, right? Who else is there? Dan and Johnny from the first film, the two that fought towards, they're the main characters in this, right? And it's all like the next generation of the kids that are coming up to do karate and so on and so forth. If you've not seen it, please go watch it on Netflix. It is actually really entertaining. Some parts of it are so bad that it's good, but the majority of it is actually genuinely good. The parts that are so bad that it's good, though, the parts that I have to say I laugh at every single time is watching these men in their late 50s to late 60s still trying to do karate. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not saying age depicts your ability to do something, but I do think it impacts your ability to do it well. I have never seen somebody try to convince me that Johnny and Daniel from the Karate Kid, now that they're touching 60, could beat me up with the slowest roundhouse kicks that they do on these TV shows with the multiple cuts and edits. It is hilarious to watch. I love watching it because the storylines are pretty dope, but there's nothing threatening about Sensei where Sensei can't lift his leg above his other knee level, if that makes sense. Let me see if I can do this for those who are watching online, right? I'm going to try to do one of the roundhouse kicks. You're going to hear me in the background doing this, yeah? So if you're listening but you're not watching, that's your business. But for those who are watching this, I'm going to try to do one of the roundhouse kicks now, and you'll understand the slow pace of these roundhouse kicks and why they are not that threatening. Watch it. Look it on the camera. This is how it goes, right? They'll be standing like this, and then all of a sudden the kick will go, I'm going to kick you. And that's it. I swear, it doesn't go any higher than that. And I swear to you, I'm trying to look at it. I know it's supposed to be canonic that you're watching them going, these guys are masters at karate. But I'll be 100% clear, right? A strong breeze will catch you off guard in that roundhouse kick. You're not convincing me that you're going to be able to beat up anybody whilst protecting your dojo. It don't look so good when you're trying to do it. It's funny to watch. It's a great storyline, but I'm not on it. I love Cobra Kai, and the brother, what's his name again? How am I forgetting his name? The bad guy. I'm not going to ruin it for you guys. Carisi, that's it. When Carisi appears on screen, and I won't talk about how. Carisi was the sensei for Johnny back in the old Karate Kid. He was the head of Cobra Kai. He's obviously in these ones. I'm not going to talk about any of the details if you want to go and watch it for yourself on Netflix. It is a great show. Watch Cobra Kai. If you used to watch the old Karate Kids, you'll get it and you'll see the nostalgia. If you never watched it, you can still watch Cobra Kai. It flashes back enough for you to catch up with the stories. Carisi, John Carisi, I think his name was. Carisi is... This man is 177, yeah? He's trying to convince me that certain things that he can do as a sensei, he can still do right now. But I'm looking at his hands. His hands can't karate chop nothing. Them hands are brittle. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to say you should not try and keep fit. But my guy, them hands are not damaging anybody. They're really not. Love to you for like like the nostalgia. But them kung fu hands are not doing anything to anyone. They really are not. That's all I'll say. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but go watch it for yourself. Cobra Kai. Nah. Cobra Kai my backside. It's panda foot, if anything. Like, it's the way that they kick. Literally, you see how a panda would kick, a roundhouse kick? And I don't mean kung fu panda. I mean an actual panda. How, like, they barely got a leg to lift up. That is how they roundhouse kick. Oh, you just got to watch the show for yourself. It is hilarious to me. But anyway, my apologies. I don't want to go into too much detail. Go watch that for yourself. All right. What else is there? Can I tell you a little secret? Real quick. I finished Marvel's Spider-Man 2 recently. Now I'm a bit behind time. I bought the game about 3 weeks after it came out last year. Was it last year? I believe it was last year. When did it? I believe it was last year. This is me wanting to correct myself. Spider-Man 2, I believe it came out last year. There we go. Cool. All right, let me start that bit again. I bought Spider-Man 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 5 last year. Only got to complete it recently, maybe about a day or two ago. I'm going to be so honest with you. I got emotional finishing the game. There's a part of me that watched all the cutscenes and I felt like I was the characters. I get really invested in video games. So when a game has a good storyline, I feel like I'm that person. And I think that's what the best thing about video games are, is that you can almost live vicariously through the characters you're controlling. I got so emotional. As somebody who spends a lot of time between UK and New York, I got so emotional that I haven't been out there for a bit to go and work or to go and see friends, family, partner, etc. Right? That I was playing the game and visiting spots in New York that I did not like get to see recently. So I'm there like swinging through Williamsburg and then going up to Harlem and then swinging down to Financial District because I got to collect a spider bot. I got emotional when the game finished to the point where I want to start it again right away because it was such an emotional roller coaster. The game is so good. If you've played it, you understand. But I feel like I'm late to the party. Nobody told me that I would be that invested in the game, which I don't think the emotional weight of the game is as heavy as something like a God of War, Ragnarok, or The Last of Us. But I literally like went to the top of a building as Miles, collected all my suits, 100% of the game, and I sat down and I looked at the sunset and I was like, this is beauty. Oh man, I love that. Anyway, that was my little secret I wanted to say. That must not be attractive to people that don't understand gaming, but I don't business. You're missing out. There are some real emotional roller coasters in video games. If you watch movies and you can cry like when Iron Man died in Avengers Endgame, and that is not a spoiler, we are years behind that. But if you cried at those points, or if you're like me and cried when Coco, the grandmother in Coco, was singing with Miguel when he had the guitar, then you understand how emotional games can get. That's all I will say. Anyway, I need to go. This is just a quick me getting back into the swing of podding again. I got to fix that light. Was it? The ISO. It's the auto ISO on the camera. It keeps going up and down, so I keep getting darker and lighter. If I move forward, there you go. All right, cool. I'll sort that out in a bit. Yeah, basically, I got to go. I got some gigs tonight that I got to get to in London. It's only down the road for me, but even still, I got to get there early enough. I'm going to see if I can catch some of this sun. On top of that, where I'll be over the next few days. So when this comes out is on Wednesday, the 31st of July. On that day, I'm going to the One Caribbean Relief fundraiser, which will be happening at Box Park in Croydon, a very important event. Those who aren't aware, Storm Beryl was a storm that happened and it went through the Caribbean. It went over to the south of North America and then went up towards, you kind of got the back ends of it that went up towards the East Coast, right? The hardest place that it hit was in the Caribbean, particularly in Grenada, Carriacou, St. Vincent, the Grenadines, and parts of Jamaica. Many, many homes, many families suffered because of the storm. If you know anything about the Caribbean, the infrastructure is not as, let's say, stable as, let's say, a UK or North America. So when a storm hits, it really affects people, not just by knocking houses down, but without having the ability to rebuild them up due to the way the economy is. This fundraiser is going to help not just raise awareness, but raise money towards relief aids that are going to help out many different islands in the Caribbean. I'll be down there performing. There'll be loads and loads of great artists that'll be down there performing. Shout out to the team that put it together as well. I'm looking forward to it. If you can come down tonight when the podcast airs, it'll be great for you to do that. Tickets are going to be available from shubs.com. Also, I will be at, where will I be this week? I will be in Bournemouth on the 2nd for Funny Boiler, which will be at Pop World in Bournemouth. Shout out to Heskey for getting me onto that. I'll be down there performing as well. And I think that's it for now. Always promoting the Aurator. Aurator starts back again in September. We have done loads of the UK dates. We have done dates all over New Zealand. We've done dates in the UAE. In September, I go all around the European continent. I'm going to tell you the dates that they are now. I'm saying it slowly so I can open up the website so I can see where the dates are exactly. But yeah, I'll be all around Europe doing the Aurator during September. Why is my internet moving as slow as it? Oh, I know why. It's because I'm uploading some bits and pieces at the same time. You know what? I'll just do it this way. There we go. That's lovely. It's opened up. So for anyone that's listening from Europe, so you know, 6th of September, I'll be in Oslo, 7th in Copenhagen, 8th in Aalborg, 13th in Prague, 14th of, these are all September, of September in Helsinki, 20th of September in Paris, 21st in Haarlem, not Haarlem, New York, this is Haarlem in the Netherlands, and 5th of October, Stockholm, and then the 11th of October in Cork in Ireland. Then we take it back to the UK from the 13th of October, and we've got so many dates still to go, but so many of them are already sold out. The big dates that you guys need to really check out. We have sold out 6 dates in London. We added a 7th date for the 18th of December, and that's going to be the O2 Forum, Kentish Town. 15th of December, we added a 3rd Birmingham date. That's going to be O2 Institute. For Bedford Corn Exchange, that's going to be the 12th of December because we sold out 2 of the Bedford dates already. Manchester, we sold out 2. We're adding a 3rd one on the 24th of November at Music Hall, beautiful music hall called Stoller Hall. Make sure you check that out. Also, one of those dates, I won't tell you which one, is being recorded for my live special. If you'd like to know, you can message me and ask me personally, and I may let you know if I'm feeling generous. Tickets for the Aurator are available from auriestyla.co.uk, and you can get them also right now or from livenation.co.uk. Just search Aurie Styla and all the dates that I am going to be on will be there. 9 times out of 10, what happens is at the end of a podcast, there's some like motivational message. I don't have one right now off head. All I'll say is be safe, be happy, and I will catch you guys in just a little bit. You're listening to the Respectfully podcast. This is my first time doing it back, so if I'm a bit shaky and I'm a bit off kilter, it's needed to happen. I'll be back again next week. Thank you very much for your patience of waiting for me to come back to do this. Love you guys. I really appreciate you. I'm going to do my best to stay as consistent as I can. But I also, those who understand I'm on tour and I'm never at home to be able to do these things. And it's a small team of us that get this stuff done. Thank you guys. Love you lot. Big up. Peace. And we'll catch you next time. Safe.
Respectfully.